Hello and welcome to this little impression video of the game F.E.A.R Perseus Mandate. And my impression will be based on my playthrough of the game on the second hardest difficulty. I have played all of the other entries in the F.E.A.R series, but it was a while ago, so I will try to avoid comparing any of the other games directly with this one. Okay, so I'm going to jump into the strong part of this game, and that is the combat. The combat has always been quite great in F.E.A.R games, and this game is no exception. The guns are great, the AI is great, the slow motion ability works perfectly, and overall the combat is extremely competent. But with that said, if you have played the original F.E.A.R, then you will have seen all of this before. The developers have added some new stuff to the combat, but the new stuff isn't all that exciting. So they have added 3 new weapons to the game. A grenade launcher, an electric-based weapon, and a normal machine gun with the infrared scope. And they work alright, they function alright, but they don't steal the show from the normal weapons. The developers have also added some new enemies, and some of them are simply, at least it seems to be reskins of other enemies, but there are some new enemies, and to be perfectly honest, I thought the new enemies were kind of shitty. You have this one new special soldier, which can take an obscene amount of shots to the face, and I just found them to be extremely annoying to fight. But then I don't like bullet sponge enemies. I think they screw up the flow of the combat and makes your weapon feel useless. The game do from time to time remember that it wants to be a scary game, so the game throws some non-humanoid enemies at you. And sadly, these enemies are a bit boring to fight against. They are extremely easy and you're not very smart, so they're kind of boring, and the combat sections dedicated to those kinds of enemies are a bit dull. Which is a real shame, because even though the game is really good at fighting humanoid enemies, it does become a bit repetitive after a while. And if the game could throw in some cool supernatural enemies to spice it up, I think the game would benefit greatly from that. Personally, to be honest, I thought that the combat got a bit dull at the second half of the game, but I do not believe that that would be the case if I hadn't played the previous games. But then again, this is an expansion pack, so you would expect the player to have played the previous games. Now, the story of the game is really nothing to hang in your Christmas tree. It is kind of shitty. And it doesn't help that none of it is canon now with the F.E.A.R 2 and so on. And there's also some extremely badly performed cutscene scenes in the game, if you understand my meaning. And overall the story is extremely uninteresting. You are following some guy who is looking for DNA of Alma and blah 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 blah, who cares? Despite its name, the game isn't all that scary, but to be honest, that is to be expected, considering that no game in the F.E.A.R series have been all that scary. And that is coming from a total coward in regards to that matter. But I do not even get the feeling that they are trying to make it scary anymore. It feels like they have a checklist, that they have to check off some boxes to call it a F.E.A.R game. Distort the vision sometimes, check. Throw the player into a bloody room, check. Let them see some character walk out after they feel the vision, check, and so on and so on and so on. And it's not even close to scary. Okay, I think that sums up my thoughts on the game. Thank you for watching this video, and bye bye bye.
Any movement?